Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to spend time with you here on this Thursday, talking to you about you and your business. I'm anticipating a big trip coming up this weekend. I'm going to be in Chicago for several days for a big human resources event. Thanks to the folks at Best Data Work, and I'll be reporting from there. But today I'm reporting right here from Houston, Texas, with my good friend William Edmundson. He brings in a weekly segment on business in the front lines. He's with Abby Executive Suites. That's Abby, ABBY.com, which I consider one of the premier companies in this industry. And as always, delighted to have you on the program. How are you, William?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Good to hear you.
Good to talk to you. Why don't you go straight to your guest that you have for us today?
Yeah, real quickly, Kevin, for those people who don't know, Abby Executive Suites is a company that provides turnkey office solutions for people who need traditional office space, excuse me, or people who may need a little bit more flexibility and may want to work from home or have a business at different points, maybe startup, maybe winding down, where they don't need a physical office, but they need that business address, the meeting rooms, and all of the service that comes with it. Mm-hmm. So today we've got a client of ours named Mildred Dillon, also known as the Money Doctor, and she comes to us from New Orleans, Louisiana, where she is a client at one of our 2 locations there. And Mildred, I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much, William. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, Mildred, we're glad to have you. Do you have a website real quick so we can make sure we mention that early on?
I'm actually in the New Orleans area.
Yeah, Mildred, do you have a website that I can mention on the air?
I do have a website, www.yourmoneydr.com.
Great. Go ahead, William.
Yes. So, Mildred, you've been a client of Abby for a while, but you are the president of your company, and yes. I know that you have with your company, like a lot of people, you've scaled up, you've scaled down, your needs have changed. Tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and how you utilize Abby as an extension of your company.
Totally. I'm a CPA here in the New Orleans area. I've been working with small businesses and nonprofits for the last 12 years here, going on 13. And I can tell you I work in about 5 parishes right now as a result of expanding my business model. So I'm just not an office CPA anymore. Most of my business model here, I've not been a sit in the office, come to the office type of professional. My model is very mobile, where I've gone to my clients, especially when you're talking about nonprofits. A lot of the documents that, I needed to work with were there. And so I needed a home where I could meet people and in some cases work out of that office with staff. I've done it all. But a lot of times what I just needed was a presence. And so what Abby and other centers like Abby have afforded me in the New Orleans area, and now have expanded even into Baton Rouge and Hammond, is that same opportunity to actually have that professional space, have the people there, and be able to meet their needs.
That's great. So you've got the flexibility, you've got that address that you can use for your business, and meeting rooms and things like that when you need them.
Totally. And one of the things that you and I were talking about earlier is that that's been the constant in my business, is that address. I've gotten mail there all these years, same address, and people know that I'm there. I used to do really big trainings for the Urban League out of one of your offices, and that's when I was there full-time with a staff of 5. But the same address, same people. I tell you, you can't beat it if you're not sure where your business is going. And in my case, a big part of my model now is what I'm doing right now. That's speaking.
Hey, let me jump in, please. Let me ask you real quick, Mildred, what exactly do you do for your clients?
I actually provide tax services. It's pretty much my bread and butter, tax, bookkeeping, accounting services for my business clients. But what's happened is the business owners themselves have reached out due to the various hurricanes, the BP oil spill. Our particular region has gone through so much where they've reached out to me to help them on the personal side, just to begin to save and invest and do those things that they got knocked off track due to all the things that we've gone through here. So I actually work with individuals behind those businesses as well. So it's a very mixed business model. I've got specialists that I have on my team who have offices and they do some of the specialty work. But yeah, I am a CPA. I'm kind of that general person that they talk to first that looks at all of it.
Very good. Go ahead, William.
Yeah, Mildred, you talked a little bit about, having a presence and having that same address. Tell us about some of the other things that you utilize Abby for.
I think what happens too that I'm finding more and more is the staffing that's there. You can have an office, but unless you've got a full-time person there, no one's there. And if you can't be there, it's very difficult to service people who may need to drop off papers. I have people who drop off the tax returns, or sometimes I'll leave the tax returns at the front desk for them to pick up. It's really convenient for people to know they've got that window, from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, to get there and do it. And so everything is secure, and it's just a really convenient location, too, where you're located here in New Orleans.
Great.
Very, very good. So kind of give me an overview of the type of businesses you work with. Are they solopreneurs, small businesses, medium? Kind of give us a sketch.
I've got the range. I've got your more established businesses who are wanting to be more close to their numbers, but their businesses kind of outgrew who they had, and so they're wanting to learn more about what the numbers mean. So I've got some businesses that are up in the $1 million revenue parts, and then I've got startups. I'm very active with our Jefferson Chamber here. I'm actually a diplomat, so I meet the businesses even at the startup phases. So at any point I've got any point of the spectrum with businesses, and so I think Abby is probably what I'm recommending the most for my startups, are people who are in transition.
Yeah, that's funny. In every other chamber in every other part of the country, they're ambassadors. But in Louisiana, they're diplomats.
That's right.
Louisiana has to do everything a little bit differently. You got to love that. Well, listen, I appreciate the conversation. Enjoyed it a lot. Abby, you need to contact them. I've been a client of Abby for years, literally. Abby, ABBY.com, or email Abby@Abby.com. Meanwhile, you can learn more about how to manage your money better from our guest today, Mildred Dillon, at www.yourmoneydoctor. That's DR, yourmoneydoctor.com. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you so
segment.
much. I appreciate it.
Make sure you check them out whenever you contact Abby, which a lot of people do. Make sure you mention the price of business. All right, when we come back, we're going to have more for you right after this.